Good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing today? I would like to say hello to each one that is watching today, and thank you for viewing my other videos and supporting me. If you would like to support my channel, you can click that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up if you like my content, and hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I upload other videos. First, I would like to give you a warning that this video is very graphic and might trigger some things in you. Also, I would like to give you fair use for some of the information that I have gotten for this story. This story comes out of Fort Worth, Texas. It is very recent. Happened on December 1st. This is about a 3-year-old little girl that was beaten to death by her father. The little girl's name is Elena Rae Joiner. On December 1st, she was beaten about the head and the face by her father, Billy Rae Joiner, who is 22. He has been arrested and he is charged with injury to a child, evading arrest, and aggravated assault charges for causing fatal injuries to his 3-year-old daughter. He is, I'm not sure if he's married to the mother, but they have 5 children between them under the age of 5, and she is currently pregnant with their 6th. It has been reported that the children have been abused on a regular basis. CPS has been involved in this family. We have reports that Elena was only given back to her mother a year ago, that she was in the custody of her great-great-grandmother. The day before her death, Elena was severely burned with scalding hot water. Her father allegedly stuck her in scalding hot bathwater and burned the bottoms of her feet. On Sunday, Joiner repeatedly hit her at their Fort Worth home, causing Elena to suffer a heart attack due to her injuries and go into cardiac arrest. She was transported to the local hospital and declared brain dead. This is not just some guy that flipped out and went insane one day, said Elena's great-aunt, Letitia Carter. The state of Texas failed my nieces and my nephews. The extended family is blaming family services for not intervening in this situation and stopping this little girl's death. I think in this situation, the mother allowed the father back into the home, knowing that he abused these children. She reportedly watched this episode take place and told Elena that if she would stop crying, that her dad would stop hitting her. As the other children watched, she didn't intervene to stop this attack. So why are we putting the blame on family services? They can only do so much. When do we become accountable for our actions? When do we blame the parents, excuse me, for having 6 children at 22 years old? Having children that they could not take care of. When does it become our fault? When does it become the responsibility of neighbors and family members that saw these children being abused and did nothing and said nothing? But it's laid at the feet of the state to take care of these children. The state didn't have these children. This man beat this child so severely that she had brain swelling and 2 black eyes and burnt feet when she went to the hospital. Do we think the mother should be held responsible, as well as the father, for allowing him back in? The reports say that Billy Ray Joiner, Jr., 22, faces charges of injury to a child and evading arrest. Injury to a child? This is murder. When do we start holding these child abusers accountable for what they've done? When does a child's life matter? He beat this child to death. You can't do that to an animal. But you can do it to a child and only be charged with injury to a child. When does this become a death penalty case? I do not advocate the death penalty because I feel that we do not have the right to decide who dies and who doesn't. It's not a fair system. They can put someone to death that did something less heinous than somebody that tortured a child, and they can get 20 years, 10 years. It's just not a fair system. I would like you to comment and let me know how you feel about how we stop this, how we stop these children from being murdered. Murdered, tortured. How do we stop this? We need education in our school systems. To not learn how to balance a checkbook, but to how to use protection and how to nurture and love children before we have them. We need parenting classes as mandatory classes in our classrooms. Do you think that these perpetrators on children were victims themselves? Were they victim of childhood violence? There is so much violence today, and it's joked about. Violence on children is joked about. There's cartoons made about it. This is someone's life. When does someone's life become important? This little girl's life, Elena Rae Joiner's life, was important. She was important. She had the right to grow up and have a life. She had a right not to be hit and beaten as a child. Let me know how you feel about this situation. Let me know if you feel that the mother should also be charged. It was witnessed that this little girl, Elena, I need to not call her this little girl, Elena, was telling her dad, "I love you, Daddy, I'm sorry," as she was being beat to death. That he beat her in the face like she was a grown man. And nothing that we can do today can bring that Elena back. But we can change some things so that Elena's death was not in vain. Leave some comments and let me know how you think we can change some things. Thank you for listening to this story. Let's stop the madness. Let's stop child abuse, domestic violence. Let's have serious consequences for these things. Thank you for your time. Lord, I just come to you in prayer, and I just lift up these children. I just pray, Lord, that you'd wrap your arms around these children and that you would comfort them, Jesus. Put them in a place, Lord, where they can get some help. Somebody to nurture them and care for them and to keep them safe. Help us, Lord, to prosecute the people that are responsible for this, Jesus. And let's also educate. Help us to educate so that this does not have to happen to one more child. Thank you, Jesus.